Hi everybody, welcome back. It's August 31st, 2022, and we're heading into September. School's just a few days away. My goodness, things are rolling along. For the last several months, ever since Ben Pellom introduced me to the Worldwide Telescope and the things that we've been finding there, I have been trying to find a way to clear up the pictures or clear up pictures that I've taken in the light area of the moon. Now, we've been working on the dark craters, but I've never been able to clear up the light-colored area well enough to show you the buildings that are there. Now, I have some previous videos, maybe you've seen them, maybe you haven't, that seem to show that the planet is covered, the moon is covered with buildings. I think I did a video just recently of 4 different images that showed buildings all over the outside of the moon. Well, I haven't been able to get them off of the Worldwide Telescope until now. And folks, I've got some great pictures, and this will definitely change your mind on what's on the surface of the moon. Now, looking at this picture right here, this is what I was looking at every time I tried to zoom in and get some pictures to clear up. And it looked like it was strictly the image tampering that they've done that gave these craters this scalloped look around the edges, They look very, very strange, and it looks so messed up that there was just be no way that I'd be able to get through that. But fortunately, I was able to, and come to find out, these craters. Now, here's some that I didn't enhance at all, by the way, and you can see, even without enhancing it, that you can just see structures in these areas. This one I did enhance. But these buildings that extend out into the darkness, I thought was really just their image tampering. But no, they build buildings that do stretch out into the darkness, and the reason they do that, it's an old photographic thing. If you didn't want to see a sharp edge, you would feather it, and that's what they've done. These edges are feathered. So they decided thousands of years ago. I mean, how long ago? We know that Mars is good for a couple 100 million years. Probably the moon is too. There's no reason why not. And so they decided a long time ago, as part of the deception, that all of their craters would have this feathering. Isn't that incredible? And there's some better pictures coming up of these structures that extend out into the darkness. Now, these dark craters are completely messed up. You're not going to be able to see anything there. If you do, it's incidental. But I had to wipe out the dark area in order to bring out the lighter areas. So one of the other interesting things I thought about, when you look at these pictures, particularly or especially when they're not zoomed in, not this one, but they are such a mess. I mean, it doesn't look like there's any possible way that you could find anything there. But in actuality, when you when you zoom in on it, it all becomes pretty clear. But you don't have to go out very far to have it just look like a mess. Like, there's nothing there. Now, this all has to be by design. They did not overlook a single thing. And there are one of the things I find interesting about all of these buildings that we're seeing here is that the difference in size. And we've seen that before. I remember talking about that on Venus, where you had these buildings that look like pretty darn big buildings, almost like a skyscraper, and then right next to it was something, 10 times larger. Real interesting. Now, another thing that we discovered while looking at these pictures is that these dark areas are not craters at all. Now, we know that they haven't been craters for a long time. We know that they make imitation craters, but these don't go down into the ground. They're just groupings of black buildings surrounded by light buildings, and from a distance it gives you the impression that it's a crater. And this is exactly the same look as Titan. I did a video on Titan, and I got the pictures from the NASA photojournal, and they talked a lot about the lakes on Titan. I thought that was real interesting, and of course when I zoomed in, they were not lakes. It was just like what we see here. It was groups of, very large groups of dark buildings surrounded by light buildings, and it gave you the impression that they were lakes. So on Titan it's lakes, and on the moon it's craters, but the result is exactly the same. And some of the pictures I've done, like the one coming up, is I've inverted it. So that means what's dark is now light, and what was light is now dark. And then I enhanced it a little bit more. So typically this would be just mostly a real bright white, but I did enhance it, and it's interesting how you can draw more out of the picture using this. And look at the top left. You see the structures up there, some pretty big ones with the brightness behind it. That brightness would actually be darkness, but these pictures that I'm showing you right now are all inverted. So this is just one small area, and look at all the structures we have here, folks. This is just that area that I circled. I mean, of course, it's not unlike any of the other places that we've looked at, whether it's Mars, Venus, Titan, Ganymede. Really, all of the hard rocks in the solar system are the same. They're completely covered with buildings. So, what about this new, what's the name of it? Artemis? This next moon landing we're getting ready for, that we've had so much discussion about? Huh. Okay, so my thought is that it's either going to be a total bullshit session again, just like the last one. I can't believe I'm saying that. But I'm quite sure we didn't go to the moon before, and I've only just recently come to that conclusion. But now they're talking about going back, and once again, there's no place to land. The only way that we're going to go to the moon is if we were invited. And they probably have a nice, neat little place for us to land if we get to go. But otherwise, it's going to be back in the warehouse in Texas. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's such a conspiratorial thing to say, but the pictures seem to be proving it out. And we're talking about many sources of pictures, all different. Of course, they always originate from NASA, but they're coming out of the photojournal and several sources. And yeah, so how much money are we blowing on this Artemis thing? Now in this quote-unquote crater, it's surrounded by buildings like they always are, but these high structures are connected by sky bridges. You see that? And if throughout these pictures, if you look at the tall buildings, frequently you will see sky bridges where they're actually connected. And another thing that you'll see quite a bit of, and I should have mentioned this in the beginning, a lot of tall, skinny structures with a black stripe at the top. Frequently those are cylindrical, most often they're cylindrical, and they don't always have to be tall and skinny, sometimes short and very wide. But keep your eyes peeled for these structures with these black stripes at the top. I believe those are windows, or maybe a combination of, who knows, windows and garages. I don't know. Now these pictures we're looking at right here are a little different than the first ones we looked at. By the way, here's a long distance picture of this area, and when you see it like this, it just it doesn't look like it's possible that there would be anything there, yet there is. There's a few things I've been meaning to say lately. One of the things is, it's important for you to realize that I frequently misspeak, okay? I say things that are wrong all the time, and I don't mean to, obviously, but it does happen. By the way, also, coming up towards the end of this video, I have a very short tutorial on how to use the Worldwide Telescope. So it is very short. It'll go through it really quickly. Really quickly. But you can go back and look at it. I think it's all together. I think I have 4 pictures, and it's going to go through it in about 12 seconds. But it's easy enough to go back and look at those 4 pictures. Different part of this picture now, I chose to tilt this picture to make these structures look straight up and down, and this top left portion of this picture have some pretty tall ones back in there. But as I said, this is a different picture, so for whatever reason, some of these pictures are easy to develop and others are not as easy. So they come out different. I don't know why. Some look good and some don't look good. In this picture here, in the light color in the background, you can see all the structures back in there. It is intense population, right? Just exactly like every place else. This is the way the Earth is going to look someday, if we manage to not blow it up. I don't think we will. I don't think these guys will let us. They have skin in the game too. They live here as well. So I don't really think they want us to be blowing up this Earth. So I don't think they would allow that. But over the millions of years coming, we're going to end up just like them. Here's your little tutorial. Very, very quick. Very, very simple. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.